And here we go. We welcome you to the voluntary reaction following Tennessee's 86-85 win over Georgia in overtime. Big win for Tennessee on the road. Now back-to-back SEC road wins for the Volunteers, and we're happy to break it down with you over the next little bit. I'm William Pattison along with John Reed. A little bit of a later night than expected as it heads into overtime, but we'll read off the final stats for the Volunteers. Tennessee led in scoring by Jacoby Gillespie with 21 points on the night on 7 of 19 shooting, followed up by Nate Ament, the five-star freshman forward, with 19 points on the night, and a strong performance from J.P. Estrella, 17 points on 8 of 12 shooting. A good night for J.P. Estrella, kind of filling in for Jalen Carey, who's been a little bit banged up. He got the start tonight, did Estrella, and did so in a big-time fashion, nearly a double-double for him with 9 rebounds as well. Felix Okpara, the leading rebounder for the Volunteers with 11. Bishop Boswell with 10 to follow. And overall, a 44% shooting night for Tennessee, 31 of 71. 15 of 25 from the free throw line, something that will need to continue to be improved, but also 39% shooting from 3, 9 of 23 on the night. So strong win for Tennessee. Wasn't the prettiest fashion, but let's welcome in the rest of the crew. John, how are you? What are your takes initially from the win?
Hey, brother, I say it on here a lot when doing these voluntary reactions after midweek basketball games. It ain't always pretty, but when you're on the right side of the final score, it is beautiful. And gut check win for Tennessee. Shout out J.P. Estrella, the J.P. Estrella game. If you listened to Talk Sports this morning, we told you, hey, Georgia, they are really, really, really bad, like down at the bottom of the country bad in terms of defensive rebounding. Tennessee was going to have a big advantage on the offensive glass, and have that advantage they did, and no one took advantage of it more than J.P. Estrella did. He was awesome. A couple clutch buckets by Nate Ament, a couple clutch rebounds by J.P. Estrella. Let's get the hell out of there. 2-game winning streak, back-to-back road wins, back-to-back quad 1 wins. Like I said, beautiful.
Yeah, you got to take that. I think the first half, at least my initial takeaway, was Tennessee was dominating the offensive glass. You had a 15-3 advantage. But the second chance points were not there. And in the second half, I thought Tennessee did a better job of coming down with the ball and taking advantage of those second opportunities, which I thought helped get that early lead in that second half. And then, kind of a back-and-forth affair the rest of the way. But these are the type of wins that Tennessee needs, folks. You get a big-time win against Alabama on Saturday. You needed one tonight. You string 2 in a row. And then you take on Auburn on Saturday. So big win. We want to hear from you as well. 865-966-3435, the number. And if you're on that YouTube live stream, chime in as well. John, who we got on the line?
We got Rando. Rando, welcome to the show. The floor is yours.
Gentlemen, good to hear you guys together in late night. You never apologize for a win. That's one. Winning on the road in this league is not a given, and we've strung together back-to-back games on the road where we've come away with the win. And I guarantee you Alabama and Georgia would have loved to have won both of those games against us. So as far as that's concerned, never apologize for a win. But, guys, the free throw shooting has got to get better. We were like 55% coming down to like the last 2 possessions at the line. That's just not going to cut it. I mean, am I wrong in that?
No, got to be improved. John?
No, I mean, obviously the free throw shooting, especially from your point guard. I'll give Felix Okpara credit. When he went to the line at the end, Rando, I said, hey, just give me one. If you can go 1 out of 2 there, I'll take that from my big man. But from Gillespie, he has to be better. He has to hit both there. He's the point guard. He's plan A in those situations. Get the ball, knock down both free throws. He didn't do it. He left the door open. Georgia was able to tie the game at the end of regulation. Okpara, like I said, 1 of 2, but I was fist pumping for that 1 for 2. That was good enough. But yeah, the The free throw shooting down the stretch, and overall as a team, if you look at just the game stats, 15 of 25, that's only 60%. I feel like me and William could go out there and shoot 60% right now. It's got to be better.
So what did Ament finish with points? I missed that while I was calling in.
Ament ended up with 19 points, 7 of 18 shooting, which, the 7 of 18 shooting obviously doesn't sound good, but when you consider he was 1 of 7 at halftime for 2 points, if you take that into account, that means in the second half in regulation he had 17 points and was, 6 of 11 from the field?
Yeah.
That's a really good second half for him. He stepped up.
Yeah, he felt like he was having a huge game in the second half. We've got to beat Stephen F. and Pearl this weekend. That's got to happen. We need to make it a 3-game win streak here in conference and keep moving it in the right direction. On the way out, last point, God, I was so glad not to hear that what's-his-face is from Knoxville 45 times tonight, like announcers did last year and the year
Blue
before.
Cane.
Blue Cane.
Yeah.
He's from Knoxville. He's from Knoxville.
Yeah.
He's from Knoxville. God. That was nice. I appreciate Fishback and company for not reminding us that Blue Cane, grew up in Knoxville. So that was great. On to the next, guys. Never apologize for a win. Take it and get the hell out of town. Talk to y'all soon.
Appreciate the phone call, brother.
Appreciate the phone call, Rando, and we appreciate those of you on that YouTube chat as well. Chime in with your thoughts, and we will read them off. A lot of GBOs. Barrister Vol says, never in doubt tonight. Hardest working man in Knoxville will be here as late as we are, back at the mic at 8 a.m. I think he's referring to you, John.
It's been a long day, but hey, William, shout out to him. He's been here the whole time, too. You clock in about, 9 a.m.?
9 a.m., but it's part of the job.
Yeah, and I left a little bit and went and had dinner, so you've been here all day. So I'll give you credit. You are at least matching my hustle tonight, if not more, and we're excited to talk. Like I said, keep the chats going. Give us a phone call, 865-966-3435. I get my say at 8 a.m. in the morning. William at 1 p.m. on the Playbook. He's doing a great job with that show, but this show is about you and what you think as the audience. So give us a shout, or like I said, hit us up on the YouTube chat. Nick writes in, how about Big Boswell?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
With the double-double. I've said on my show, William, if Bishop Boswell can give us 8 points, I am smashing the deal button on that. Word to Howie Mandel. Give me 8 points, I'll take it. Tonight, he gave you 13. He hit a couple big threes. He hit a couple big free throws. I thought Bishop Boswell was good tonight. And I have a theory, working on Talk Sports, that if Bishop Boswell is good, then Tennessee is a great team. If Bishop Boswell is not good, Tennessee is a 7, 8, 9, 10 seed. He's the X factor here for me. I like what I'm seeing from Gillespie. I like what I'm seeing from Ament as he gets better, but you're going to have those other guys step up. Estrella stepped up. Boswell stepped up. They were both, very instrumental in Tennessee getting this win.
Yeah, Bishop Boswell, 42 minutes on the night, finishes with 13 points and 10 rebounds, 8 of which were on the defensive side of the floor. And I've said a bunch of times on the Playbook that Boswell reminds me a lot of Jemai Mashak. There are some times where he's not going to be the best offensive option out on the court. He's not going to space the floor every time he's out there in terms of a opposing team's defensive approach, but the guy makes a lot of hustle plays. The guy makes a lot of winning plays. And 13 and 10 and 42 minutes of action is going to be very, very key, and was again tonight. So a good performance from Bishop Boswell. You needed that. After we take this next caller, though, I do want to focus on JP Estrella for a moment because I thought that was an integral part of the win tonight. But we got Brad from Nashville on the line. What's up, Brad?
Not much, man. Just enjoying a midweek win, Can't really bitch about a win on the road in the SEC.
William, put a little respect on my boy's name. He's Brad in Nashville, not Brad from Nashville.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brad in Nashville. I'm sorry.
He is a Voluntary Action Basketball Edition legend. So
I'm
give
sorry.
him proper respect.
I do apologize. Brad in Nashville.
He's my boy Brad, and he is in Nashville. What's up, Brad?
It's cool, man. I'll let it slide. Maybe you stuttered or something. But yeah, it's I like the performance from the guys. Obviously, you could have done better at the free throw line. And it would have been cool to just roll in there and roll them. But, I mean, the way that this team's played this year, I just like the consistency from them and just raise the floor for what a bad performance is. And if a bad performance is a win on the road in the SEC, then, man, I'll take it.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, look, it's not always going to be pretty, and it definitely was not pretty in that first half tonight. Kind of an ugly one. Only put up 28 points in that first intermission. But, again, finding ways to win in the SEC, I think, is very important. You're down double digits against Alabama on Saturday night. You keep within arm's distance of that one, and you find a way to win. That's what the teams that move up the seed line heading into March do, and now Tennessee's done it back-to-back weeks.
Got to say, I felt a little bit like a dumbass for not necessarily the victory lap, but the shame tour that I was on, shaming people for not believing in Nate Ament and for giving up on him when I watched that first half and he was 1 of 7. I was like, oh, boy, this is not going to age well. But then he stepped up in the second half, salvages his stat line, like I said, comes up with 17 big second-half points. And now you are back to 14-6. You are back to 4-3 in the SEC. You got a very winnable game at home on Saturday against Auburn, which is kind of teetering right there on that quad one line. If you beat that, I think you're right where you need to be. 21 games into the season. Brad, on Talk Sports, we said, hey, give us 3 and 5. We said to give us 3 and 2 in the next 5. When we looked at Florida, A&M, Kentucky, at Alabama, at Georgia, we said we'd lock in 3 and 2. You got off to a bad start, going 1 and 2 your first 3 games, but you get through that stretch at 3 and 2, and now the schedule lightens up a little bit over the next couple weeks.
Oh, good. They need it. But so as far as Ament goes, I know that Barnes has been patient with him, and he's a notoriously impatient coach. Like, do you think that he sees something there that we're just, as fans, too impatient to wait for? And maybe he might actually be a true game changer by the time March rolls around? Or is it just going to be another one of those, he's going to go top 10 or top 15 in the draft, but he's never going to show anything in college?
I think there was 2 things there, Brad. I think he knew, A, that Tennessee is invested heavily in him being that guy, so kind of the only option is supporting him and hoping he flourishes into that. But 2, I think Rick Barnes knows. Like, I've compared him to Kenny Chandler. You go back to the end of January in Kenny Chandler's year, so basically this game tonight would be the equivalent. Kenny Chandler got benched against Texas. The last 6 minutes, Tennessee's down like 17 points. Rick Barnes puts his ass on the bench and says, Zakai, you're running the offense, and Tennessee almost makes a big comeback. And from that moment, Chandler kind of flourished and carried Tennessee to a SEC championship. Nate Ament's been better to this point than Kenny Chandler. He's still been a really good freshman. He's still been a worthy 5-star freshman. The problem is he ain't been like the guy at Duke, and he ain't been like the guy at BYU or Kansas or Houston. So, like, he's got some real stiff competition, but he is still a really, really good SEC player, and he's a really damn good freshman.
Something I'd add, Brad, in Nashville, I think that you've started to see Nate Ament become a lot more comfortable within this offense, and I think the reason for that is because of the rotations and the type of sets that Barnes is giving him. Because I think there have been a lot of moments early on in the season where it kind of felt like Nate Ament was just trying to play a role within the offense instead of trying to be a part of the offense. And I think in that Texas A&M game is when I noticed it the most. First half, he was kind of just walking around the perimeter trying to be a part of the offense. And in that second half, you went small ball, and you allowed for Ament to attack the basket and not have 2 bigs down low to clog everything up. And that's confidence. He had 19 points in the final 19 minutes of that one, had a good performance against Kentucky, great performance against Alabama. But it's all about the sets and the lineups they're given down low to where he's now got the space to take it to the basket, take it to his favorite spot around the baseline for a pull-up jumper, take it at the elbow. I just think it's giving him options, and that confidence of having that aggressive mentality offensively is helping him out.
Right on. Well, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I like what I saw. There's a level of consistency there that I can get behind that we were missing earlier. That was just in stretches, and then we just disappear for times. And I feel like we're actually starting to get our crowd together. John, a couple of quick questions, and I'll leave you cats alone. One, I know that we picked up a QB in the transfer portal. The dude from Colorado. Do you think that guy's a legitimate threat, or is Heupel going to run with the kids?
Yeah, one of the kids. He's not a threat.
All right, and the other one, did Amy pick a good coach by accident, or are the Titans just going to tighten? And love you guys. Y'all be good.
On the way out, Brad, before you hang up, give me a number. Put it on it, 1 to 100. How you feeling with the basketball team? Where's the vibe check at? I was going to say you don't sound like you're sold. You sound like you're happy with the win, but there's still a lot of questions. I'm feeling like you're still right there, like a 63 or so.
No, man. I'll give him a 78, C+.
Okay.
I liked what I saw tonight.
Appreciate the phone call, brother. Good to hear from you.
Appreciate you, Brad, in Nashville.
I think Amy, whether or not she got bullied into it, I don't know. I do think the Titans have a good decision maker over there with Mike Borgonzi, and I like the coaching staff they put together. I'm pretty excited right now to tighten up. My teams, at least the last time I checked, William, the Hawks were up like 15 against the Celtics.
Yeah.
My basketball team just grabbed a big win on the road in the SEC. My football team is looking good. Things are pretty good right now for me sports-wise. I'm feeling good.
There you go. I won't dive into my sports teams, but I will dive into that YouTube chat real quick. Got a lot of comments here. Nick Posey says, can we talk about that dog crap court design? That is tough on the eyes, I must say.
Do you think we'd like it if it was Smokey on the court?
No, you can't. I don't even think Smokey would fit out there.
He is a good-looking boy, though, unlike that inbred bulldog who can't breathe or have sex on his own. Like Smokey looks a lot better. What about the state outline of Tennessee? If we had a big state outline out there, I kind of like the court outline. But the bulldog is a little extreme. Like I
don't like the different colors. I don't like the gray and then the inside being. I don't like that scheme. But obviously Tennessee will probably have to change that court as they move over to Adidas next year. Continuing to read these chats on God's green earth. I have no clue why they didn't just launch the basketball into the stands on the opposite end. 0.6 seconds. They have to inbound under their net. Yet we almost got a 5-second violation. I think the big thing there is if you technically just launch it out of bounds, then Georgia would get the ball right where Tennessee had inbounded it. But if you just kind of lobbed it up into the other side of the court, maybe you could have had an opportunity there. I think Georgia was out without a timeout. Not that it really would have mattered, but obviously you don't want to risk anything. You might rather just have a safe inbound, right?
I would have been fine with throwing it deep. I'm not launching it in the stands because if it doesn't get touched, I don't want to give Georgia the ball under the goal at 0.6 seconds. But I would have had no problem throwing it high like center court where, you maybe if they deflect it, it's not going to end up, costing you anything. But just get the ball in. Don't be cute. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's grab Matthew. Matthew, welcome to the Voluntary Reaction. The floor is yours.
Surviving the SEC, boys. How we doing?
That's
doing
all you
well.
got to do.
Survive in advance.
I want to give a rose, and it's going to go to an unlikely hero. Give a shout-out to Mr. Bishop Boswell. Those clutch free throws there at the end, going 5 for 6 from the line on a guy that's been averaging right around 68% from the free-throw line. Very much important tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, you got a ton of big performances tonight. In a crunch time matchup like this where you've got a back-and-forth affair late in the game. Both teams are in the bonus. A little bit of foul trouble down low for guys like Akpar and Gillespie. You need these other guys to step up, and you got that from J.P. Estrella. We're calling right now the J.P. Estrella game, at least this part in the SEC. 17 points, 9 rebounds, and Boswell, 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 42 minutes of action. The complementary performances are really key for this Tennessee team because you're going to get it from Gillespie. You're starting to now get it more often with Nate Ament. Can you get the Estrellas and Boswells more involved? I think you got that tonight.
100%. I think the question that everybody wants to know is this the Nate Ament? Is this a consistent Nate Ament? If you're getting this is a second weekend team.
Yeah.
I'll even go a step further, and I don't know if our co-host, Mr. Brett, will like this, but I think tonight Nate Ament showed that he's your best player on this roster, and it's nothing. That's not to discredit Jacoby Gillespie. I just think that the ceiling that is Nate Ament, I think he's your best player on this team, and I'll hang up with that question. Take care, boys.
Yeah, well, I think Nate Ament definitely has the higher ceiling if we're just talking about basketball careers. But right now, Nate Ament is still a young player that's figuring out college basketball, and I think he's starting to kind of find his fit in this offense, especially as we talked about with Brad in Nashville just a second ago. The offensive sets, I think, are a lot more favorable to him right now, to where he's got a lot of space on the perimeter. They're kind of putting him on one side of the court and allowing him to operate that way to where he can take it to the basket, draw a foul, take it along baseline, and give one of his distinguished pull-up jumpers over a defender that's going to be much smaller than him. I think the creativity offensively from Ament is a really nice sign. And if he continues to have effective nights, I think the efficiency will start to come along with it. Obviously, 7 of 18 isn't great. The 1 of 7 start in the first half really wasn't great, and you'd like to get off to a better start there. But I think Ament is starting to solidify himself at least as the number 2 guy that can be a little bit more consistent. You can maybe get the number 1 here soon. We'll go back to the phones. We got Preston on the line, right? Preston?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Preston? How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So for one, let's give it up for the Vols. 2 huge road wins.
Let's give it up.
On the road. It's not easy to win on the road in the SEC, for one. And for 2, what was the idiot in Athens, Georgia, thinking shooting the ball with 0.6 seconds left, down 2, or down 3, shooting a layup? What an idiot! Can we talk about that? I mean, they say that education's really solid there in Athens, but that has me questioning the education system in Athens.
Preston, I don't know if you saw, but the point spread was moving pretty fast and furious before the game. I think it closed at Georgia plus 1.5. So. Maybe he was just trying to cover. I don't know.
Do we think he was on a little bit of a Vegas side there?
He was trying to get the cover,
in the game.
And he wanted Tennessee to get to the money line, so he's all right by me. I had Tennessee money line, so we're all good. Shout out to that man.
We'll take it. We'll take what we can get here in Knoxville. Another thing, what's with the Ament, by the way, was great. But can we get a first half from him?
Yeah, I think that's one thing you're looking to improve on as a team overall. I think you've had a couple of tough starts in SEC play, which was a characteristic of this team last year. But at least for Ament specifically, I think you're getting some good looks, and a lot of the same shots he's taken in the second half and drives he's taken in the second half are apparent in the first half. But he's just not putting it in the bucket. You need that efficiency to begin the game, but something Tennessee's going to have to improve on for sure.
Well, I appreciate it. That's all I've got. Let's meet at Cool Beans sometime soon, Mr. JR and Mr. William Patterson.
My brother, I am far too old to be at Cool Beans.
No, you're not.
Maybe
age is just a number.
Maybe we can do Barley's or something soon, brother. Good to see you. Good to talk to you.
We'll take that.
Good stuff from Preston. We appreciate him calling in. 865-966-3435, the number. Who else we got on the line?
We got the co-host of The Drive right here on Fan Run Radio every day from 3 to 6 p.m., Mr. Bob Baskerville. Bob, how you doing, my friend?
Hello, fellas. Man, that was an exhausting game. But
yeah.
Take the win and move ahead. That's all you can do. It felt like towards the end that maybe, as kindly as I can put it, we were facing a team that was maybe a little dumber than us. It felt like, because I was feeling that way about Georgia most of the second half. Honestly, they were just jacking up threes, and I knew they shot about 50% from 3-point range in the first half. I knew that couldn't continue, but I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't want to be too critical. You take the win. It's crazy to think that if we had just taken care of business with Kentucky, this team would be 5-2 in conference instead of 4-3. But
Bob, we got to look on the glass half full. Who knows? If we beat Kentucky, maybe we drop one of these road games. Yeah, maybe the team needed a kick in the ass and a bye week to get ready. We can't cry over spilled milk. We got to move forward.
I agree, and the good news is. Not that Auburn will be a pushover. The rest, the next 5 games are pretty favorable for us in terms of matchups. So I'm feeling pretty good about this team, honestly, as frustrating as they can be from time to time.
The vibes have flipped. The last 2 games have been very, very big for that. Bob said he feels good about the next 5 games. Saturday against Auburn, Tuesday at home against Ole Miss, Saturday in Rupp on February 7th at Mississippi State, who's pretty bad, and LSU. Bob, I'll go ahead and throw Oklahoma in there as well. At home. So really the next 6 games, I like to break things up and look at, trying to get a certain a certain target number. I feel like 5-1 is where I'm at over these next 6 games. Let's get Tennessee to, that'd be 9-4 in the SEC, 19-7 overall. That'd be a pretty good mark to hit.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, we start, at least for me, you start kind of moving the goalposts maybe of what they can finish in conference play. I was originally saying I'd be happy with 11-7. Maybe it's 12-6. You never know.
Yeah, and, I think you also got to look at, coming up. I mean, tonight, a Texas team that you kind of handled went toe-to-toe with Auburn. Auburn ends up finishing it out there in the end. But you got an Auburn team coming off an uninspiring performance, traveling to Knoxville. If Tennessee can string together, 3 wins in a row as you kind of get in the bulk of SEC play, I think it's really, really important, Bob, that you play your best basketball in the final month in the season. And I'm not saying Tennessee's doing it quite yet, but they're starting to trend in that direction. I think that would be a great sign as March looms here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of quick things, and then I'll hop off or whatever you guys would like. You talked about Estrella a little bit. JP Estrella and Felix Okpara each, by themselves, had as many offensive rebounds as Georgia had as a team in that game. They each had 7 offensive rebounds. And, John, I couldn't help but think of what you've been saying about Bishop Boswell calling him doing his Josh Hart impersonation, because he did it again tonight, man, another double-double.
Yeah.
He was solid. And like I said, if he is a good basketball player, if he plays good, Tennessee is back to being like a 2 or 3 seed nationally. That's how much of a difference he makes. When he's bad or average, they're more of the 6, 7, 8 seed. I think he is a huge difference maker, and we got good Bishop Boswell tonight, and he was, a force on the boards. And shout out to both Felix and JP. Tennessee didn't shoot the ball well, but they got a lot of their misses and created a lot of extra possessions.
No doubt. And then the last thing I'll say, I think it was one of the few things that the announcer said that I was like, okay, that was a good call. I think Damian Fishback said it. I'm dating myself. William, you won't remember, probably, John, maybe you will. They did the whole J.P. Estrella's got some Kevin McHale vibe.
Hey, I know some Kevin McHale, Bob. I know some Kevin McHale.
Bob, I don't know how the hell you what age you think I am, how old you think I am, but I never watched Kevin McHale play, but I am firmly aware of him. But
ball. That's all. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does. He puts that ball up high, and he's kind of got that lanky feel to him. I'm back in on JP Estrella. I was pretty down on him about a week ago.
Bob, appreciate the phone call, brother. You can hear him and Russell and Bear every day on the drive from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on Fan Run Radio. We got the phone lines full. We're going to move on. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, good job, guys. Thank you.
All right, appreciate Bob calling in. And real quick, did want to mention real quick one more time, JP Estrella, huge night for him. And we've talked about it a couple of times this week on the playbook. I think his touch around the rim is the best out of any player on this Tennessee roster in terms of bigs, and that came up big tonight. Had a couple of really nice push shots right around the cup, 8 of 12 on the night, 17 points. We'll head back to the phones. We got George.
JP, right quick. JP and Ament both down the stretch were great because Georgia was trying to sag off in that 2-3 zone, and the middle was open there anywhere from 15 to 12 feet out, and Ament had the free throw line jumper. JP had the push shot. Georgia was giving it to him, and both guys took it and knocked it down, and that was those are both big plays. Yeah, let's go in. Let's grab George.
George, what's up?
Man, it's good to hear from William, man. I'll tell you what, that was a great game to watch, especially in the second half of overtime when the Vols went up by 4 points right there. Wow.
Yeah.
What a great way to close out the game. I'll tell you that right now. Excuse me. Well, I'll tell you this, William. You want to know what scares me about those Vols, right?
What?
Those people from Northwest Arkansas, man, those guys get active with y'all.
I mean, I appreciate him staying on hold forever to do it, but we got to keep it moving. Let's grab Carson. Maybe Carson.
We got Carson on the line.
What's up, my guys?
What's up, Carson?
What's up? How are you?
Oh, I'm great, man. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Good, man. Good to talk to you guys, man. I'm an avid listener, man. Talk sports and the drive, and man, you guys. I drive all the time, and for my work and stuff, and I love listening to you guys, man. I appreciate what you guys do.
Let's make sure, Carson, that we throw the playbook in rotation at 1 o'clock. William's doing a great job.
The playbook. A lot of times I'm eating lunch during the playbook, but, I love listening to playbook as well.
We put up the podcast. Hit it for him one time, William. And here we go.
There we go. And here we go. There you go.
Listening, man. It's been a long time. Hey, I appreciate what you guys do, man. And here's my biggest thing. I love what this basketball team is doing. I love seeing that man doing what he's doing. But still, my biggest thing is Gillespie and his turnovers.
Yeah. And a couple of people on the chat have said the same. I wanted to touch on that because
the turnovers and the missed free throws down the stretch.
Yeah.
Like Gillespie, I hate to say it, but I know Rick Barnes is telling him the same thing. Brother, you make too much money to be making these mistakes. Like, we are paying you to be our lead guard, to be our safety net. You're the point guard. You have to have the ball. Zakai Ziegler, he took care of the ball and he hit free throws down the stretch. Like, you could argue that Jacoby Gillespie has a higher ceiling, that he's a better offensive player, he can shoot better, whatever. But in terms of being a point guard down the stretch, Zakai clears him right now. Gillespie's been way, way, way too sloppy, Carson.
Absolutely. 100%. Well, you know what, man? I'm not going to take up too much time. I know you guys got a bunch of callers. John, when you took your little 3/4 zip off, I'm watching on YouTube here, and I loved how you did the little twirl up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm drinking some Natty Lights, man.
All right, well, we're a White Claw family. Switch to White Claw. At least tell me you're drinking White Claw. We're a White Claw family here.
Hey, John, the Surge is the way to go.
There you go. He is drinking the White Claw Surge. To hell with Natty Lights.
Switch it up.
Ditch the beer belly bloat, brother.
I love you guys, man. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, I love you. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate the phone call.
we appreciate the call. It was Carson, right?
That was Carson.
Carson, yeah, we appreciate the call, Carson. Great stuff there.
George was the drunk Arkansas fan.
Hey, George, shout out to George just for calling in, though. Even if he might not be a Tennessee fan, you got to give some props to that. Staying up and watching the Vols and then calling into the opposing team's show. You haven't played
to celebrate a win like a month ago. Like, that was good. Good job, Arkansas. You got that win a month ago at your home court. That's good. Good job. I like it. Solid, and you deserve to be happy. I know Arkansas doesn't have much to be happy about right now, so celebrate those, my brother.
Yeah. Real quick, also just kind of looking at Georgia's numbers. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Tennessee shoots 44% on the night overall, 39% from three, 60% from the free throw line, 15 of 25. Going to have to be better in that facet of the basketball game, as that's been a struggle throughout SEC play for the Volunteers. But for Georgia, they shoot 51% at home. 51% at home for any team in the SEC, that's a tough task to overcome, and Tennessee finds a way. Now, they do shoot 32% from three, 9 of 28. Bob mentioned it earlier, just kind of started chucking up some shots, but 51% and they lose at home? Tennessee's got to be proud about that, at least just to come out with a win.
Yeah, the defense, not great. You didn't shut them down by any means, but if you remove the 11 points in overtime, I think in most SEC games, if you tell me that your opponent scores in the mid to low 70s, you live with that. It means you didn't get lit up. But, yeah, Georgia shot too well from the field. Tennessee kind of lucky to get out of there with a win. Let's go behind enemy lines. We got a guy, Tyler, down in Atlanta. I'm imagining he's feeling pretty good right now. Can puff that chest out a bit at work and such. Tyler, what's up, brother? The floor is yours.
Hey, appreciate it, John. I got a little thrown off there. I didn't know you were taking the calls. I thought you were on the. I was on the radio.
Oh yeah. No, I'm running the board back here, answering the calls, doing it all.
I like it. Well, hey, boys, I'm long time, first time down in. I'm a Vol down in Atlanta, so you can imagine that.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, man, that was a hell of a win. I know the guy said that. To win that, just with the offensive rebound and alone, what's your take on there, John? I mean, I kind of feel lucky with the W, but it feels good.
You beat them up on the glass, so I kind of understood what they were saying is like, because offensive rebounds, I think we attribute to just effort. I think tonight it was a lot of Tennessee's size, but effort as well. So, like, when you have two guys, like Bob said, Felix and JP, both getting 7 rebounds, which was Georgia's total offensive rebounds, it does seem like the team in red, as the referee said on the review. I don't know if you guys heard that. He said, red team.
Yeah.
We're giving the ball to the red team. It looked like Tennessee was playing harder just because the way they dominated the glass. To say they deserved to win, they made some mistakes, but I did think Tennessee made some pretty clutch plays down the stretch. I definitely feel like Tennessee was the better basketball team, and I do think Tennessee executed better starting around the 10-minute mark on. So I would say Tennessee deserved to win.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure you all talked about it, but the game from JP Estrella, I mean, they say liability on defense.
Okay.
Standing ovation if you're watching on YouTube. I got to give JP a standing ovation.
That is true. You gotta
17 points, 9 rebounds.
There we go. Well, I was so stressed watching the game. Did we think that JP was a little better moving his feet on defense tonight?
Yeah. No, I've been very critical on Talk Sports of JP's defense. I think Rick Barnes has been as well. Look, here's the thing. If JP plays like he did tonight on offense, you can live with some defensive lapses. To me, the problem was JP was playing bad defense while also being pretty passive on offense. You go back to, the Alabama game, for example. He was 2 of 7, but like the A&M game, 0 for 5, while also getting beat on defense. Like that's not good enough. I'll live with some lapses if he's giving me the effort on the glass and he's giving me effort around the rim scoring. The last games before this, Alabama 5 rebounds, Kentucky 0, A&M 3, Florida 2. So it wasn't like he was really dominating the glass either. I thought tonight he was just awesome on the offensive side of the glass. I'll be honest, I wasn't laser focused on his defense. But again, if he plays that good of offense, you can live with it.
Yeah, look, the thing with JP is what you got offensively tonight is why he deserves to be on the court. But I will say there are a couple of bad defensive lapses from him again tonight. He finishes with 4 personal fouls, and obviously that's a part of the game you want to avoid, especially when Felix Okpara had 4 himself and Jalen Carey is nursing an injury. So you could have gotten in a really interesting spot tonight if this thing had gone to another overtime. But again, as John kind of iterated, if you have 17 and 9 from JP Estrella, you can live with some of those defensive lapses, but you need more consistency on that offensive end. And again, I think JP Estrella's got the best touch on the team. I think you saw that tonight with a couple of those push shots.
And they relied on him in overtime.
Yes.
I mean, they were feeding him in overtime.
Yes.
Not every one of his points were just putbacks. Some of them were just, hey, I'm throwing it on the block. Here's a baby hook. Like, go to work, JP. And he was awesome offensively. What else you got for us, Tyler?
Hey, guys, out the door. I will take it all night if we can get 2 threes in Boswell game. Y'all be good. Love you guys.
Hey, appreciate the phone call, brother. Rep us down in Atlanta proudly. I know we don't get to celebrate football a lot, but, hey, we can celebrate basketball tonight. Yeah. And I believe that's 6 in a row, William, against Georgia, I believe. I believe that's 6 wins in a row in the series.
Let me pull it up. So Tennessee now 8-1 in their last 9 versus Georgia after going 2-9 in the prior 11.
We went 2-9?
And the prior 11,
Jesus.
Correct.
I mean, I didn't realize it was that bad. But, yeah, that is 6 in a row now, dating back to February 10th, 2021.
Tennessee now has also won 3 in a row in Athens specifically after losing the previous 6 there.
That was a tough place to play when I was growing up. We didn't win a lot in Georgia.
And if you also want to know, the last time Tennessee met a ranked Georgia team before last year, that was 2003. Another note I've got. I know that doesn't come into tonight, but again.
We thought they were going to be ranked. They weren't ranked either way.
8-1 in your last 9 after losing 9 of the prior 11. So another nice little stat there.
Take that, Danny White's brother.
Yeah. Take that for data, mid-major Mike White. Who else we got on the line?
We got Joshy Boy. Joshy Boy, welcome to the Voluntary Reaction. The floor is yours, my friend.
Hey, what's up, William? What's up, John? How about those balls?
How about them balls, Joshy Boy?
How about them, Joshy?
What do you guys think about us out-rebounding Georgia 26-7?
I thought we were too big. I thought they were too small. That's what I thought.
Hell yeah. So, William, my first question is for you and John.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about Georgia going hot from 3 in the first half but going cold in the second half?
I thought the first half sucked. I thought the second half was a little bit better.
Well, to give you a little bit of a further answer there, Joshy, shooting 50% in the first half from 3 for Georgia was not going to be a sustainable number. I think it was Roberto who tweeted at me at halftime saying the same thing, and I replied, yeah, just not sustainable. And it wasn't, as I thought Georgia started to kind of chunk up a lot of shots. Bob Baskerville, who joined us a bit ago, reiterated that as well. Just a couple of poor shot choices for the Bulldogs down the stretch. Now, one of them ended up being one of the prettier shots of the night from Smurf Millender, who ended up in that corner three over Boswell. But again, just started kind of forcing stuff up. They finished 9 of 28, 32% from three after shooting 50% at halftime. So my take from that, Joshy, is just wasn't sustainable for them to keep up.
Yeah. And, guys, Boswell actually stepped up tonight, and he may be that third scorer who's going to step up for the Vols and not rely on Amon. And
him and JP both stepped up. Now, in the YouTube chat, Joshy, we got a poster saying that they thought that you gave up on us. Is it true? Did you say that you had given up on the team?
After the Kentucky game, I kind of gave up on him a little bit.
Oh, no.
Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry and beg for forgiveness.
I'm sorry for giving up on my Vols.
Don't give up on the boys. Don't give up on them. They got talent, and they're putting it together. Don't let Russell Smith sway you with his negativity. Russell gets very negative after losses. You got to stay the course, Joshy.
All right.
Hey,
So,
Joshy, keep on going at Bear, too. I love that segment today. That was great.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad he's not on here. I'd probably already be cut off by now. So, what do you guys think about Jacoby? It seems like we're having to rely on him a lot this season, and do you think it's eventually going to burn out at the end?
I mean, Joshy, I think it burns out at the end of every regular season game. I think he gets really tired at the end of these games and makes some bad turnovers and misses some free throws. Tennessee, needs a backup point guard. They don't have one. Boswell can't do it. I don't want to ask him to. I just want him to focus on playing the two guard. Maybe give Ament the ball a little bit more and let him handle some dribbling. But, Ethan Berg being a bust hurts this team because you need somebody that can dribble the ball for, really just 4 minutes a game. Take Gillespie down from 38 minutes to 36 minutes to 35 minutes, and I think you see some fresher legs. Tennessee is a body short, I believe, but Gillespie still has to be better. No excuses.
And I think you knew that, Joshy, heading into the season. You missed out on Isaac McNeely. You missed out on Roddy Rice, two guys that would have been secondary ball handlers along with a Gillespie. You had to go kind of dig in the bag of European players and get Ethan Berg. He's not worked out. I call him the best player for the opposing team when he's on the court for Tennessee, and it truly is the case. But I will say Troy Henderson out tonight. I think Troy Henderson, if he's able to get back healthy, is a guy that we can see more out of over the rest of the season, because in the summer I heard about three guys: Nate Ament, Jacoby Gillespie, and Troy Henderson out of the people I talked to in the building there. And I think Henderson's a guy that can be maybe just a 4-minute player, as John's saying, just a guy that could come in and handle the ball for 4 minutes. And he's got no fear, which I really respect. I remember his first game as a true freshman a couple of months back. He came in and fired up 3 threes right off the bat. He had a couple of big-time shots against Texas A&M a couple of weeks ago. So I think if Henderson's able to get healthy, you could start seeing more of him as the season continues to progress and he gets more and more experience under him. Berg's not the answer, but I would love to see more Troy Henderson if he's able to get healthy.
Guys, out the door, I have one last request. Is it okay if I rip Bear out the door?
I'm sitting on the other side of the room. I can't get to the phone to hang up on you, Josh. You got about 10 seconds to rip Bear before I can hang up on you.
All right, guys, out the door. Bear, how about your Catholic boy, Blue Cane? He can go suck it. See ya.
I really thought you were going to say what he could suck. Good job on censoring yourself.
Gosh.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's grab Roberto. Roberto, thanks for joining the show. The floor is yours.
Hey, guys. I love Josh and going all in on Bear right now. That made my night.
Bear's punching the air at home.
I just finished the game right before Josh's call. I'd had to pause it. I was taking care of my kids. And, man, it's funny. Estrella, about 2/3 of the way through the second half, you were like, what is going on with him? All of a sudden, he turned it on, man, and he became a different player. He plays like that, Tennessee can go far.
Yeah, I totally agree.
He can be the scorer we need, because we don't have a scorer in the paint that is not him.
Yeah, well, I think all the bigs have different ways of scoring. I think for Okpara, he's kind of that rim runner and lob threat and a guy that can get those put-back dunks. I've said time and time again, Estrella has the best touch on the team. Like, that's a back-to-the-basket source of offense. You can't get that with Carey, and Carey, hell, he can't make a layup if he tried.
I think Carey can score, but it just takes more work. It's just not.
I saw someone call him Angel Reese tonight.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. Angel Reese, I'm not going to be able to unsee that. And Roberto, I think Nate Ament can post up and score, but Estrella, like William said, your most naturally gifted post scorer, your most reliable guy you can throw it into.
He's just Estrella's not quite as slight as Ament, and I think that's what I really meant. But Ament isn't going to go up into a guy. He's going to go away. He's going to fall away from a guy, whereas I think Estrella is willing to go up. And that baby hook he's working on looks pretty good right now. That could carry in the tournament in front court scoring.
Kevin McHale. That's what the streets are calling him, Kevin McHale.
That's what Damian Fishback's calling him. You better watch it. I mean, John, you're far too intelligent to be confused with Damian Fishback. I probably would stay away from that.
Bob Baskerville doubled down. I trust Bob Baskerville's knowledge. Bob called into voluntary action about 30 minutes ago and doubled down. So we're calling him Kevin McHale until further notice.
Okay. All right. We'll go with it then. The other thing that I noticed, obviously the rebounding. Our fans, we don't deserve to win this game. That's what I've noticed tonight. Can we please stop that crap? We out-rebounded them by 1 billion.
Yeah.
Our offensive rebounding was the key to the game, obviously, and it's obvious that the boys focused on that throughout the week. Has it been brought to the attention of the court that we didn't return home this week after the Alabama game? That has to play on a kid.
I didn't.
You know what I mean?
Are you talking about Tennessee not coming back from Tuscaloosa to Knoxville?
Correct.
I don't know. I didn't know that. That would be news to me.
They said it during the game.
Okay, did they? Okay.
They said Tennessee did not come home this week. For me, I thought they played pretty well. They need a proper two-guard shooting two-guard, but I think Bishop Boswell could help us out in the tournament. I think he's a pretty decent three-point shooter. But, John, to your point, I think you made it a minute ago, God, our ball handling is bad. And it's not exactly like Jacoby Gillespie setting the world on fire there either. He's got to be more clutch, especially with his free throw shooting. And if Tennessee gets their free throw shooting, I don't know. Rick Barnes has that thing he'll do where he'll run them one day when he's got an extra day off. He'll run them till their tongues drag the ground on free throw shooting, And I think we're due one of those. We're maybe the worst free throw shooting team in the conference.
It's going to cost us too. It's going to cost us.
It already has. It's already cost us. It cost us the Kentucky game.
It's going to cost us even more down the stretch. They got to get that under.
Thanks, John. Thanks.
Appreciate the phone call, Roberto.
Figure.
Real quick before we head back to the phones, want to make sure we're including the YouTube chat as well. Can Abrams not run the one? Says AJ Vols. Very interesting note from tonight. We've been talking about these stellar performances from Estrella and Ament and Boswell. Amari Abram, just 1 minute tonight. 1 minute logged. Very interesting. Abram has been a pretty consistent piece in the rotation, just plays 1 minute for the Volunteers. Did you notice that tonight, John?
I thought Evans looked pretty good. I'm of the belief you play 8 guys. That's my ideal basketball rotation. I don't need to get past 8. I thought your 3 guys off the bench, Carey, Evans, Brown, I was fine with that rotation. I didn't need to see Abram. I got to be honest, watching it, it wasn't like I ever thought, I need some Amari Abram minutes here. But no, give me 8 guys, and I think Barnes, especially on the road, Abrams is a home player for the most part. Put him in at the home game, let him try to swing the crowd, get some energy, fire them up. I thought tonight it was okay, especially with Boswell playing as good as he did. If Boswell was struggling, maybe you look for a spark, but as good as Boswell played, I had no issue with it.
One more real quick. Blind Vegan Rescue says this roster was not constructed properly. We have no true secondary ball handler. Last year we had Gainey, and even Lanier could handle the ball way better than anyone other than Jacoby on this team. And then the real Big Bird says Gainey on this team would be so huge. That was a possibility, it felt like, for a moment. But
if you had Jordan Gainey on this team, I would think not national championship good, but I think you'd be basically right where you were last year with maybe a higher ceiling where you thought, hey, maybe we can get to the Elite Eight and swing against one of the big boys and try to get to your first Final Four. Gainey would have been a huge, huge difference maker. It sucks that he didn't get cleared. Blind Vegan Rescue. I'm very disappointed at the name change. It used to be like Blind Vegan Rescue Dog with a name, and it was really, really long. I'm sad that he has shortened it. He sold out. He used to have a much longer YouTube name. Last call for phone calls. William and I have been here long enough. We want to hear from you, but we can also talk to you tomorrow. So last call for phone calls, 865-966-3435. Give us a shout if you want to hop on. Let's grab Booby. Booby's on the line waiting. Booby, welcome to the show. The floor is yours.
What's up, my guy?
What's up, Booby?
Hey, man, I just I'm not trying to suck you guys off, but
Hey.
man, I love Mr. Cody. I feel like you guys on Talk Sports give Cody too much shit.
Noted. I've tried to be. I feel like over the last month I've tried to be nicer to Cody. I've been making an effort to be nicer to him.
Well, I have noticed he's been late a few times.
Well, that's the thing. Is when I start being nice, he starts slacking off. Like I hope you guys see what I have to deal with sometime. Cody's great. I love Cody, but like,
no, I do.
A month ago, he just left and went to Florida in the middle of the week on me. He just disappeared because he got mad at me, and now he shows up at 8:15. And I love him, but I got to try to keep him in line, Booby.
He's a hell of a guy.
He is a hell of a guy. I love Booby. All right, I love Booby. I love Booby, Boobies, and Cody.
So I've been a big fan of what you guys are doing on YouTube. So I love watching you guys instead of listening. And the whole toboggan and sunglasses thing the other day, I mean, it was just unreal.
He looked good. He looked like $1 million.
He looks like $1 million, man. But no, listen, hey man, I'm a LNU baseball player, so about 45 minutes from you guys, northeast, rail splitters, if you ever heard of them.
Shout out to you.
But no. Bubba too. I wanted to say that Bubba is absolutely hilarious.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got some Bubba fans out there because some mornings he makes me mad. So I'm glad that me putting up with Bubba and his shenanigans at least makes a couple of you happy. So that's good.
Well, no, it's just he's like, yeah, he's very chill.
I'm alive, John. I'm miserable, and the earth is burning.
Jacoby's a great player, man. He's got to take over his turnovers, man. That's just what we got to do.
Yep.
Right? I mean, the turnovers are absolutely ridiculous. We got to get some of these guys healthy, and also too, aim it. Just consistency, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will say for Gillespie, only 2 turnovers for the entire game. He just has poorly timed turnovers. Like, whenever he turns it over, it's in a very crucial moment. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he is sloppy all game long. It's just he does make some mistakes at the worst times.
Sure. And too, John, in my opinion, it's weak-ass passes.
Yep.
It's been that all year.
And sloppy dribbling. Like, I mean, I think he's got a little bit of both.
But you're a point guard, John.
Yep. No, I'm with you, brother. I do wonder how much different what he's having to do for this team is versus what he had to do for Maryland last year because they had more ball handlers and Derek Queen was a big part of their offense. Like,
they play in.
Yeah. What else you got for us, Booby?
That's it, brother. Hey, I appreciate you.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for listening. I'll keep being nicer to Cody. Thanks for calling in, man. Talk to you tomorrow.
Good stuff. We appreciate you calling in, Booby. Real quick, looking at the YouTube chat, Blind Vegan Rescue, who apparently had a name change John.
A name change, for sure. It was much, much longer back in the day.
Gainey was the only one who really battled in the SEC tournament, lost to Florida, and the Houston loss. He's maybe the most underrated UT player in a decade. I would love to have him on this team, but, we can't play hypotheticals at this point as we kind of encroach on this weekend and kind of put a bow on Georgia tonight. Auburn gets a narrow win over Texas, a team that Tennessee handled a couple of weeks ago inside TBA at FCC. Stephen Pearl will make his debut inside Thompson Bowling Arena as an official head coach and a very talented Auburn team, Elijah Freeman, a guy from LMU.
Shout out to the Rail Splitters.
Exactly. Shout out to the Rail Splitters. a guy that Tennessee heavily recruited out of the transfer portal, ended up signing with Auburn, a little bit of a familiar opponent there. And, they had a Tahad Pettiford come back this season. Keyshawn Hall was the co-SEC Player of the Week this past week with Nate Ament. Very talented team. But when you start looking at what's next for Tennessee, you get these 2 wins back-to-back on the road. You got a really important one this Saturday at home. And then you host Ole Miss next week. Like, this is where you could start to get a big win streak going, get back in that top 25, and start encroaching up the seed line. Joe Lenardi put out yesterday, Tennessee is a number 6 seed in the tournament out of the East bracket, and the teams that were also in that bracket, Duke, Illinois, Arkansas, Kansas, Texas Tech. Some good teams, and a couple of them you've already lost to.
They're going to put us against Purdue in the Sweet 16,
Oh,
so just go ahead and get ready
stop.
for that. Purdue in the Sweet 16, Michigan in the Elite 8. Just wait. Which I guess they won't do that. They won't put the 1 and 2 seed together. But
yeah,
we'll get Purdue in the Sweet 16.
What are you looking for in the matchup on Saturday, though?
I'm looking just for – look, I think college basketball teams are just clearly much better at home. Tennessee has been awesome at home under Rick Barnes against everybody except Kentucky. Before football season this year, we just said Josh Heupel is great at home against everybody except Georgia. It's kind of how I feel about Rick Barnes and the basketball program. They're good against everybody except Kentucky. I expect Tennessee to be, what would you say, an 8.5-point favorite or so on Saturday?
I'd say 6.5 because, you get a win tonight, but obviously there are some flaws on this team, and you'll have to see, what your lineup looks like in terms of Henderson and Carey.
I just figured it'd be a similar number as what they had at A&M,
Sure.
Against A&M, 8.5-point spread or so. A game you should win, a game you need to win. You're better than Auburn. They are playing a little bit better, though, and it is a quad 1 opportunity, at least for now. They're kind of right there hovering at the top 30 cutoff. I don't know what the crowd will be like. What I've been saying.
8:30 tip?
8:30 tip, but also, I just don't know. I hope these last 2 wins have got the casuals on board. Like, Tennessee basketball, it has a diehard fan base, but the diehard fan base isn't enough to fill up the Thompson-Boling Arena at Food City Center. You got to get about 8,000 casuals in there. You got to get about 8,000 bandwagon fans in there that want to come watch a good team play good basketball. I'm hoping that these last 2 games motivate people to get in the building and give this team a good home court advantage because, I think they're playing pretty well over the last week. The Kentucky loss sucked. I get that. I'm still mad about it, but I think we can go on a run here. And like I said, 9-4. I think is where I want to look up after the next, 6 SEC games.
Yeah, again, Auburn gets a nice win over Florida over the weekend. They went on the road and got one there. A good Florida team that's played better basketball as of late. They get a
one
narrow.
That's up 35 right now in South Carolina.
Yeah, well, let's not.
I know
give,
South Carolina sucks.
Let's not give South Carolina too many flowers, but
a 35-point
lead
on the road is pretty good.
I agree. But Auburn, a narrow win tonight. They'll come inside Thompson-Boling Arena at Food City Center, and you mentioned the crowd. I think the Alabama win is what got a lot of people back in the boat. Just, a big Saturday night win on the road against a top 25 team, and the player that a lot of people have had gripes about is your best performer, Nate Ament, who goes for 29 and wins SEC Player of the Week just a couple days later. I think that got some people back in the boat, and then you get a little bit of a nail-biter win tonight against Georgia. I think you'll get a good crowd. And the Riverside Club, I'm sure the drinks will be flowing. 8:30, everyone's kind of letting loose a little bit. Might see some, what were you doing with the sweatshirt, ringing it around earlier? Might see a little bit of that.
Word to Petey Pablo.
Yeah.
Take your shirt off, twist it around your hand, spin it like a helicopter.
Might see a little bit of that.
Let's go. Talk to you boys in the morning. William, great job by you. Listen to the playbook at 1 p.m. If you missed any of the show, we'll put up the podcast. Shout out to everybody that watched on the YouTube. Shout out to everybody that called in. Good job by you, William. Let's get out of here.
Thank you. Good stuff. Tennessee improves to 14-6 on the season with a 86-85 overtime win over Georgia. For Fan Run Radio and John Reed, I'm William Pattison. We appreciate you listening along with us. We'll see you next time.